Hello, Elisha. Thank you so much for joining the session today. How are you? Hope you had
Hello.
a good day.
Yes, I'm well. It's a beautiful day. Kind of early for an disappointment, but I'm here and I'm grateful to be here so that we can start to talk about what's going on with me.
Oh, it's nice. It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Um,
Likewise.
I see that you've signed the forms and I've had time to go through it, but I would like us to touch on a few things just before we start the session, if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So first of all, I'd like you to know that I'm a graduate student working towards completing my master's degree in counseling. And basically, I'm trying to practice my counseling techniques. And as you will see, this session will be recorded. But do not worry, only my professor and my classmates will have access to the video. Everything we discuss will be confidential, um, and um, and you can share whatever you want to share, whatever you want to share with me. Also, I would like us to quickly touch on confidentiality. Like I said before, everything we discuss here will be confidential. However, there are limits to confidentiality. In the event that you mention harm to yourself or to someone else, I'll be obliged to report that. Or if you report child or elder abuse, or if it is requested by the court, or if the information is requested by your insurance company, I'll be required to give them a copy. And also, if you ask in writing that I disclose the information we share here to anyone, I will be happy to do that. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm a student counselor. Just in case you're not happy with the session, or you want to be transferred, or you have any issues, you can reach out to my professor, and he would be willing to hear you and help with the transfer process. So I think we should go right into. I see, yes, you've signed it, and thank you for signing and sending back to me. So I think we should go right into the session, just so we don't waste time. So could you tell me why I have the pleasure of meeting you today?
Yes. So I'm here because I'm in school right now, so I'm a graduate student in a master's program. And it's a Christian school, so I particularly came to the school because as I graduated, I grew up in a religious family, and so I've always been involved with faith in various faiths. But I just felt like it was given to me. It wasn't something that I went and I learned on my own willingly. And so as I became adult and I was exposed to more things in life, I kind of wanted to involve faith with my school practices as I cultivated myself as an adult. And so coming into the program, I've done that with my undergrads. I'm now doing that in my graduate program. And I feel a lot of pressure because I feel that I'm succeeding in the course. I'm able to do what's necessary to obtain grades and get to the ending of the journey. But as that's happening, it's like I don't feel that I've like deeply immersed myself in the Christian practice as I could have with the materials that was provided in the course. And so it's just a lot of pressure around that.
Mm, Okay. So if I hear you correctly, you're having a bit of struggling. You're struggling a bit with balancing your faith with what's being taught in school. Is that what you're saying?
Um, not so much balancing the faith with school is the personal desire to go deeper into the faith while I'm in school because there's a greater opportunity to read material and then also ask questions from so many different people who have you know, been using the information for themselves. And
Mm,
so that I feel like is a personal desire not necessarily being fulfilled as I'm completing the school journey. When initially I came into the school journey, for me to do that, but it kind of just took a change.
Mm. Okay, yeah. So now you're able to dive deeper into knowledge and gain more insight into the faith by engaging in the materials and engaging in the program.
Yes, yes, that's correct.
Okay. So are you struggling with that? Do you find that you're struggling with that?
Yes, because as I've gotten closer towards the end of the program, it's just a lot of different things. It's like, okay, well, I need to prepare for clinicals. Like, I need to be looking at where I'm going to go. I need to be figuring out what I'm going to do with work, shift my finances so that all things in my personal life, coordinates with where I'm going. And so, again, it's kind of like it's just so much information, like new books coming from the next course. And I want to like deeply immerse myself in it, but it's like I don't have the time to focus on it.
Mm. So are you almost done with school?
I am.
Oh, nice. How does that make you feel?
That makes me feel really great. That's the motivating portion of um the journey. That's the motivation portion of the journey is to like kind of keep going forward, but there's like still that but for me. It's like, okay, well, I feel like the best word that I could use to describe it is like I'm cheating on myself. It's like I'm doing what's necessary to get to the end.
Yeah.
And there's so much in the process that I could still be obtaining, but I'm not able at this moment to truly focus on it because again, I'm just like, let me just get to the end. And once I get there, then I'll have the capacity to do all the other things in my life. And I don't want to do that with my spirit. And so that's why I feel that there's the pressure coming from like, okay, like, well, I still want to read the book like deeply and I want to take notes and I want to reread it and I want to go on a journey with it, but I don't have the time right now.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that, and it's normal to feel that way. So sometimes, especially when you are towards the finish line, it feels like your attention is just on the finish line, and you're not really enjoying and savoring the moment and being immersed in the things that matter. So it feels you're missing out on something.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
exactly. Yes.
I completely understand that. From your form, I see that you say you're seeking counseling for stress and pressure related to balancing your studies and your personal desire to deeply explore the Christian faith. So, from your experience, would you say that you've been able to explore a bit more? Do you have more understanding um, of the Christian faith, which is why you went into the course in the first place? So, would you say you have more understanding?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, definitely. Again, I've had a lot of knowledge prior to it, even through practice. But coming into the faith, again, in the particular program that I'm going to school for, is a mental health counseling program. And so, in that, a portion of that is trying to figure out, again, as a young person, like, despite what I know and what I practice, there's a lot of people that I encounter that do not. And so even if it's not in a professional space and it's just me meeting them in the street, it's still the same way. Like, how do I respect their faith? And that was my motivation for coming into it. And so I felt that when I came in, I had a lot of challenges initially, in positive ways where people were providing me different perspectives as to what I previously held about the faith. And so in those ways, it helped me to like think differently when I was engaging with people. And so that's the portion that I appreciated because I learned that very early on coming in because I have to understand that I didn't come here to denounce a faith. I came here to learn about a faith. And so I opened myself up early to that if I wanted to succeed in the course, because I have to learn about the faith and use it particularly with these other practices that I'm learning. And so in that, I feel that I expanded greatly throughout the course. And I just, again, it just keep coming back to like if I got that within a short amount of time that I was able to get it, what else could I be getting in this moment?
Mm.
But it definitely, to answer the question, yes, it definitely expanded me in great ways, which is where I feel like a great sense of joy and still a motivation to go further and like question, like, okay, well, what's next? Like, if I learned this in this amount of time, like, what could I possibly be learning in the next, at the next level?
Mhm. Mhm. I see that you light up when you talk about this. You're pretty excited about the experience, and it's good to see and it's good to know. I also see that you take grief in your form. Would you want to share a bit more about that? You mentioned your brother passed a couple of months ago.
Mhm.
Has that played any role in the stress that you are currently experiencing?
Um, yes, definitely, because I feel the conclusion that I came to for myself, as I said, I'm a mental health counseling student. And so part of navigating my challenges is using the material that I'm studying and apply it to my own personal life. And so one of the things that I've done in correlation with my faith is to intentionally grieve or have intentional time to grieve. And I feel that, especially in relation to, like I said, about being so close to the end of the course, is like death just seemed like a convenient inconvenience because it did snap me back into the reality that like I have family and like people need me in ways that like I know that they do, but I also need myself. And so I would say that I isolated myself as I got closer towards the end of my schooling journey. And as my brother transitioned, it just seemed like I was okay. I was prepared for it in many ways, but in the same sense, it was like it was inconvenient because it took like a month of my time to dedicate to preparing all of these things with all of these expectations on me. And I felt honored to do it. And I know my role in life. And so I was honored. But again, it's like, if I'm being completely honest with myself, which is why I'm seeking a counselor, is that the grief didn't stop. And it's like, it is still something that's ongoing. And it's like, I don't want to get to the point where I'm waiting until after I finish my degree and after I get to that point of what I believe is personal success for myself, I have this breakdown or a breakthrough because I didn't take the necessary time to process it. So I do feel that there is some impact with that in my school journey and in my personal life as I'm currently navigating.
Mm. What are some of the ways that you use to help you get through this process? So what are some of the things that you do, specific things that you do that helped you go through the grieving process?
Mm. Well, of course, my faith, my practices that I practice. Again, I felt very prepared because of my practices. So I knew how to navigate. I knew what would be most appropriate for like an immediate response, and then also having people within my faith who have a deeper understanding of why it was necessary for me to carry out the way that I did. And so my faith has been like, I would say, like my number one thing to go to navigate through that. And then I have one friend that I recently, not recently, maybe about a year or two, we met through work. And this person who, she's an elder to me, and she's been able to like help me shift my perspective because she's experienced grief and then also having to respond to family members and get back into work and still pursue all of the lively things. And so just having that, like seeing somebody who has completed that walk and have completed that journey has been beneficial to me. Again, like, I don't know, like if I experienced some form of isolation, but for me, I feel that it's necessary and sometimes healthy because I don't always receive well from people who, I would say don't have the capacity. And again, that's why I felt that I don't always talk about it because at my age, it's people honor me for doing what I did, but there's like I feel like a lack of acknowledgement of like still the grieving process and not having the enough or the I don't want to say enough, but more so like sufficient or efficient amount of people to hold space for me. And so like that has been a thing because I'm usually the person for everybody. So just finding it for myself is like it's an honor and it's a journey in its own because I'm learning to walk the walk as I'm walking it.
Walking it. Mm. Mm. It must be lonely to be the one who is always given and not having
Yes, yes, the lone walker.
the lone wolf. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
I would just like to give a brief summary of what we've shared today, just to be sure I have a clear picture. So you shared that you were coming to the end of your course and it's been deeply insightful. But because you're at the end, it's quite easy to miss out on the process now because your focus is completing the course and ensuring that you finish the course well. And you're a deep learner and you want to continue learning, and you're using the course materials, you're learning the course materials, not just so you can help others, but you have also been able to utilize it for yourself in the grieving process where you lost your brother. And you also mentioned that your faith has played a great role both in your course and in your personal life. And you have support from a friend who has helped you navigate the grieving process because she has been through grief also. And you mentioned that most of the times you are the one who is in the position to give support and you don't really receive support, but you're mainly the person who people come to for support. Would you say that that summarizes
Mhm.
what we've shared today?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. So, looking at this, what would you say will be a goal for you at the end of this session? What would you say your goal would be? What would you want to achieve at the end of the session?
I would say reduce stress around balancing personal life and my school.
Mm, okay, okay, yeah. So, we'll definitely go over this more as in the next session, where we'll discuss details of these things that have been shared and try to walk through the process of reducing your stress and also getting a perfect balance so that you are able to handle your huge responsibility um, a lot easier and a lot more efficiently. So thank you so much for um, joining today. So I'll go ahead and schedule the next session for next week. So will
Okay.
Tuesday or Thursday be better for you?
Um, Tuesday.
Okay, all right. Thank you. So I'll schedule it and let you know. So the summary of everything we've discussed today will be shared with you. I'll send it via email. Your email, we have your email on file, and everything will be shared with you via email. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Elisha. Thank you. It was
Thank
really nice to
you.
meet you. Look forward to seeing you next week.
Likewise.
Okay, bye bye.